Hello, everyone. My name is Fao Matao, and I am from Tuvalu. Today, I am presenting my 80-16 assignment for resource development. So, for this assignment, I created this model to teach children about protecting the beach and caring for the environment. So, this model shows two different sides of the beach. One side shows a healthy and protected beach, and the other side shows what can happen when the water gets too high. So, first, I will explain the left side of the model, which is called protecting the environment. And on this side, you can see many green trees near the beach. The trees help protect the land and stop the sand from washing away. And you can also see rocks near the beach. These rocks, they help slow down the waves from getting in. The beach on this side looks clean, safe, and healthy. And we expect people to come and enjoy the beach because it has a clean and clear view. This shows that when we take care of nature, the environment stays beautiful and safe for everyone. Now I will explain the second side of the model, which is called oceans getting high and deforestation. So on this side of the model, there are fewer trees and some trees have fallen down. The water has moved further onto the land and washed away some of the soil or the sand. So this shows that flooding and erosion is happening right here. Deforestation, where we cut down trees, or maybe trees are falling down because of higher um, tide of water or sea. So this side of the model, it teaches us that when beaches are not protected, strong waves and higher water can damage the land. So as a future teacher, I can use this model to help students learn about beaches, nature, and caring for the environment. This model makes learning fun because students can see the difference between the two sides of the model with their own eyes. And also, I can also ask student questions like, what do you see on this good side of the model? And what exactly do you see from this side of the model? And also, I may ask them, why are trees important and what happens when the water gets too high? Because these kind of questions, it helps students join the discussion and share their ideas. I can also use this model during science or environmental studies lesson. So students can learn simple ways to care for the environment, such as planting trees, keeping beaches clean, and not throwing rubbish into the ocean. So this model teaches the importance of protecting beaches and caring for nature. So if we protect the environment, our beaches can stay clean, safe, and beautiful for everyone. So yes, this is how I want to show my student in class this model and how am I going to demonstrate it to them. So thank you. So the second topic that I chose is change and continuity. For this topic, I created a model that shows how houses in Tuvalu have changed from the past to the present. So my model compares traditional houses that were built long ago with the modern houses that people live in nowadays. So through this model, students can understand that time has changed many things, including the way people build their houses and homes and live their daily lives. So in the first part of the model, I created traditional houses. These are the two traditional houses that I've created. These houses were built using local materials from the environment, such as trees, leaves, wood, coconut, and other natural resources. In those days, for example, like in Tuvalu, the people, they depend mostly on nature because modern building materials were not available at that time. And families worked together to build this kind of houses using these materials they collected around them. So these traditional houses were simple and suitable for island living. They allowed fresh air to pass through and protected people from the hot weather. And this shows how people in the past they used this kind of resources they had around them to meet their needs. In the second part of this model, I show the modern houses that we live in today. Nowadays, many of our houses are built using cement. As you can see, the house at the end of the model, you can see that it was built using cement or iron roofing, concrete, glass windows, and stronger, more advanced. And also you can see that there I have created a factory to show my students that we have factories during these days. Compared to the past, we don't have factories. So overall, this model helps students understand the meaning of change and continuity, because change means that things change as years goes by. So while continuity means that some things remain important, even though the style and materials of houses have changed over time, but the main purpose of a house still remains the same, which is to provide shelter and protection for families. So I created this model because I think it helps students understand the topic in a simple and visual way. Instead of just only reading from books, students can look at the model and compare the different between the houses from the past and houses from be used in today to live in. So it also helps learners appreciate Tuvaluan culture and understand how life has changed over time. So in my teaching, I will use this model mainly for my lessons, where I will show the model to students and ask simple questions such as, what differences can you see between the two houses, and which house do you think was built long ago? This will encourage students to observe carefully and share their ideas. And after that, I will explain the differences between traditional and modern houses, including the materials we use and the way people lived in the past compared to today. By using this model as well, students can also work in groups to discuss the changes they notice or draw their own pictures of houses from the past and to the present. So using this model in class will make learning more interesting, interactive, and easier for students to understand. So yes, this is how I am going to use this model in my teaching. Thank you. So the third topic I have chosen is decision making, and I am focusing on decision making in families and community in Tuvalu. So I created a chart for my model where I will explain how decision making happens in Tuvalu. So these models are based on traditional Tuvaluan practices and leadership structures. Part 1 is family decision making in Tuvalu. In traditional Tuvaluan families, the man or the father is usually the main decision maker in the household. He is responsible for making important decisions for the family. Under the man of the house is the mother and the children, and they are responsible for and are expected to follow and support the decisions that are being made by the man of the house. So this model shows a top-down decision-making structure within the family. Part 2 of this model focuses on community decision-making in Tuvalu. So in Tuvaluan communities, the decisions are traditionally made through the Falikau Bule. And the Falikau Bule is a council made up of family leaders and elders from the community. The chief has the responsibility to give the final say after discussions are completed. And then below the chief is the Falikau Bule. This is the council of family leaders and elders. And at the bottom are the community members and families who follow the decisions made by the Falikau Bule and the chief. So this model shows how leadership and governance work together in traditional Tuvaluan communities. How will I use these models to teach the topic? I will start by asking students what decision making means and where they see it in their daily lives. I will then introduce these two models as traditional ways decision making happens in Tuvalu. And from there, I will present the two charts to the class and explain each level of the model and the role of each person or a group in decision making. I will also ask questions such as who makes a decision at home or in the community, and who helps supports these decisions, and how are decisions made in our community. So family decision making is led by the father, whereas community decision making is guided by the Falikaubule and the chiefs. So these traditional structures help maintain order, leadership, and unity. So overall, that is how decision making happens in Tuvalu, in families and community. Thank you.